Peace, love, and light, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. I'm Amina. This is a shadow reading for the collective. Please only take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Because this is a shadow work reading, we're going to be digging into some of you guys' issues as well as the solutions. I'm not here to poke the bear and not give you the solutions to your problems. However, because this is shadow work and this is a shadow reading, some of you may be triggered by what comes out. All right? So make sure you have an open mind, you've centered yourself, and you're prepared to hear what you need to hear, but also take in the solutions. Also, this is guidance. It's your choice whether or not you really allow yourself to accept some of the things that you hear. It's your choice whether you choose to do anything about what you hear. I am simply here to give you that guidance and that clarity. You know who you are. You'll know what applies to you and what doesn't. Remember to use your discernment, use your own intuition as well. And again, you know who you are. So this is about being very honest, okay? We're going to hop right into it. We have denial. It's time to face the truth. I'm picking up on several people with this. So some of you, the denial is about what you give and why. What I mean by that is you're a giving person and you like to help different friends and family members. But the issue is when you're helping these people, you're also regretting it because they get used to you always coming to the rescue. You're always the person to call. You're always the person to rely on. And you feel like you have no one to rely on. And instead of sometimes just saying, I need time to myself, I can't do that right now, you keep doing it and then you feel like you're being used. And even if there are moments when you're being used, you have to keep in mind no one can do to you what you don't allow them to do. If you're not answering that phone at 5 or 6 in the morning, jumping in that car to go drive because this person needed this or needed that, if you weren't making yourself available like that, then you wouldn't be in the position for them to use. Also, there are times when, yes, there are people who genuinely need your help, that you're helping, but you're putting them in the same category with the people that you know used you. And it's not like you can't tell the difference, but it's this self mechanism that you put around yourself. Like, if I just think that everyone's using me, then I have the perfect wall up. And so when it happens, I'm not caught off guard. But in reality, you're just putting yourself in a state of denial about your part, right? And that's not helping you. That's actually hindering you. So you need to go within and ask yourself, what is my part in this? What am I allowing? And how can I come out of that? How can I expand out of whatever that is? Because there are things that you feel you're being held back on due to missing an opportunity because you had to run and help somebody with something or be there to answer the call for someone else. And listen, no matter what happens, if on that day that you don't answer the phone, on that day you don't do whatever, it's not going to make the difference. It's really not, because what's supposed to happen is going to be what happens. They have free will like you have free will. If they put themselves in a predicament that ends up, really upsetting for them and it leads to some problems for them, that's a choice that they made, just like it was your choice to help or not help. So you got to come out of that denial. You either have to help people from a true, genuine, kind part of your heart, or you have to accept the fact that, sometimes you just can't do, that you need to do for yourself, that you need to center in on you, right? For some of you, I feel like you're denying a part of yourself. You're denying a quality to yourself. And in doing that, you're unhappy. You're denying, it could be a talent. It could be trying to mimic, be in the image that someone else wants you to be. Let me tell you something about mimics, okay? Mimics will spend years, lifetimes, trying to be like a specific person or a group of people. They never are happy when they do it. And it gets to the point where they start to lose their own identity. And then they go into denial. They go into I'm the victim. Everyone did this to me because everyone wanted me to be But in reality, you chose to sit up there and mold yourself in that image. Nothing they could say or do really could have affected you if you weren't allowing it. And sure, as a kid, you're influential and whatnot. You're easily influenced and whatnot. But at the end of the day, you at some point have to accept, I'm the person that's participating in this, right? So you're missing opportunities because you're trying to be like everyone else. And that's not your job. You're uniquely you. And if they choose to be a part of the walking, following in a straight line, ducks or whatever, that's their choice. That's not your place, though. Some of you have really unique abilities and you're not tapping into them because you're trying to appease everyone else. Come out of that denial. We have avoidance, running away. Because some of you are in denial about certain situations, you find yourself running. You find yourself avoiding certain conversations, avoiding certain people that you might actually care for. Some of you, it's avoiding those users, right? Like, you're already not that cool with them, but then at the same time, it's like, oh my God, if so and so calls me, I'm gonna have to do this, that, and the third. I'd rather not deal with it. And so you're trying to avoid them, but in reality, it's putting you in like this really funky mood all this time when you could just be honest and upfront. And if you end up having to not deal with that person, then you just don't have to deal with that person. But to just run away, to just avoid your problems, to avoid those people you need to confront, and this is for both of those groups that came out under denial. When you try to avoid something that you need to work on in order to grow, you're hindering yourself. You're not hurting the other person or other people. You're only hurting you, because you're the one who's going to be held back due to your own action of denial and avoidance, right? We have financial issues, poor financial choices, obsessed with money. So this goes back to those of you who have friends or family that always need you to come to their rescue. They always need you to take care of something, and you'll do it, but you're not thinking about, wait a minute, I might have needed money for that bill, or I might have needed to pay off this loan or my car note, whatever it may be. And then what happens, right? You go into the blame game. It's them, not you. It's them. Denial, because that was your money, right? You didn't owe them anything. They're asking you because, yes, they're in need. Again, some of them genuinely may need your help. But if you don't have it in that moment and you give it, and then you keep that low vibration of I'm wasting money, even when you're giving it to someone that needs it, all you're doing is generating another poor vibration of not having. You're putting yourself in a state of lack. So if you're going to help someone, it needs to come from a genuine place, and you need to feel like you're going to get back as much as you put out. You can't second guess it. Right? And you really need to sit down, because for some of you, this is about an obsession with money. You really do need to sit down and find out, do I really need these things? Because remember, some of you are out here trying to please a certain group of friends or society or family. You're spending all this money trying to look cute, spending all this money trying to go into the same locations that they go into, when you could be saving your coin and building an empire. You could be saving your coin and investing in your own business. But instead, you're obsessed with trying to be like them, and it's making you spend money out of your pocket. It's not like they're spending money for you to fit in that group, right? So you got to come up out of that. You have to face these issues, stop running from them, stop denying them, because that's not helping you. We have self-pity. When self-pity is made a habit it makes overcoming adversity difficult and keeping you stuck. Use these hardships as a way to grow stronger and become better. So what were we talking about earlier? This is what denial and avoidance does. Is after a while, because of that low vibration, you start noticing what you don't have. You start noticing what you wish you had, or, and it's not that you don't have the opportunity per se, or even if you didn't, it's not that you can't make the opportunity, but because you're in that self-pity, because you're in that denial phase, that avoidance phase, you can't grow, right? You end up stuck. And that's not what we want here. We don't want stuck. We have the thief of joy, apples to apples comparison, your highlights to theirs. What use is that exactly? Happiness comes from appreciating what's in front of you, not wishing you were doing something else. Why are you trying to fit in? Why are you trying to fit in with these people that you don't even like, or trying to have these high levels of expectation, especially when it comes to finance? Look, don't say to yourself, I don't have, but at the same time, don't allow for these people to make you feel like you need to do something a certain way just to hang around them. Now you're sitting up here comparing whether or not you look good, whether or not you're pretty based on other people's opinions and thoughts. That's not what you're meant to do. You're meant for something greater than that. Reinvent yourself. Determine your skills and talents. Sit this one out and figure out how to improve. You don't have to be perfect, but it requires authenticity. You are your own self. You're your own person. You create your own desire. You create your own reality. So you don't need anyone else to come in and try to tell you what to do. And if you're the person that's been living in denial, you've been letting people either use you, or you've been allowing yourself to think other people's challenges are your challenges too. Reinvent yourself. Because when you grow and expand and you step into your full power of who you are, listen, you'll be able to do and help anyone that truly and genuinely needs it, and you won't feel like you're in lack when you do it. We have, I forgive myself for creating confusion by adjusting my visions to reflect what others want to experience through me. I choose to believe that when I make my vision my own, I invite others to clarify their desires and seek its fulfillments independently. When you accept who you are, when you accept how you flow in this universe, you open the doors for others to be able to do the same. You open the door for them to be able to accept as well. Let's get into some of these solutions, okay? Acceptance. Acceptance is a part of the solution. Not avoidance and not denial, but acceptance. Receive what comes without judgment, right? I feel like that's self-explanatory because it builds stability. It gives you a solid foundation when you're able to really accept things, when you're able to really grow and expand and know that you're not in lack, you're full of abundance. So accept that. It can lead to love. So if some of you have been struggling in your romantic life due to some of these issues, there's romantic feelings involved here, and you're able to expand on them when you allow yourself to be accepted and be on stable ground. Whether this be twin flame, regular dating, platonic relationship, whatever, when you are accepting who you are, you open the door for another to be able to communicate with you, and communication is key in a relationship. We have exit strategy. Break out of any repetitive cycle of negativity. Consider an exit strategy to end a situation that will help you advance in life and free you from your imaginary shackles, because you're not really trapped. You're free. It's your own thoughts that make you feel like you're trapped. We have girl power. Take care, and this also can apply to fellas that come across this, but we have girl power. Take care of your girl, whether it is some vaginal TLC, setting healthy boundaries. So that means if you've also been given some to somebody that don't deserve it, and then feeling like they're using you later, they can only dip in the cookie if you let them dip in the cookie. You see what I'm saying? Or embracing your femininity. For those of you who you feel like you have to be like everyone else, you can embrace your femininity in your own way. She needs your attention. Okay? Give yourself some love. Ain't nothing wrong with it. You don't need to share your body with anyone that's not worthy. We have stay committed. Your goals may feel so far away and they seem absolutely impossible. That they seem absolutely impossible, except, here we go with accept again. Accept the good, the bad, and the in-between times. Sometimes success takes longer to achieve. And remember, we also had the love card come out here, right? And we also had girl power come out here. So for those of you, if you're in relationships where you feel used or you feel like the guy ain't doing what he's supposed to do, cut him out, okay? If you're with a person that you know deserves more love from you, deserves more happiness, then you got to accept that sometimes, things might get a little rocky, whatever that may be, but you have the power to get through. You just have to stay committed to your true self, committed to the true path. We have, I forgive myself for thinking that it means anything about me at all. Should one of my loved ones experience challenges, I choose to believe that it is safe to trust those I care for to grow resilient through the experiences of difficulty so that they can realize their strength. Again, I feel like that's self-explanatory, right? That goes right along with what I was saying, doesn't it? There's your solution. We have self-care. Remember we had girl power earlier? Self-care. Focus on physical and emotional well-being. Your own physical and emotional well-being. Promote yourself. Get out there, promote yourself, and make new contacts. Build your network and meet new people who can help you make the most of your talent and abilities, i.e. accept yourself. You don't need to be like no one else, boo-boo. We have, I forgive myself for holding on to the notion that no one understands me. I choose to believe that when I make an unwavering effort to understand myself and the way I feel, I am able to effortlessly communicate with others on a deeper level. You got this. Peace, love, and light, beautiful beings. Blessings to you. You got this.